With the Bulldogs on the bench to our right and Wayne State University on the bench to our left as the Bulldogs win the opening tip. Jimmy Scholler with it, high post left side to Deshaun Munson. He'll give way to Ben Davidson coming off the screen. Davidson looking down low. Olienka has it, picked up by Ray Williams here defensively. Trying to back his way down. Dolapo into the paint. Leans in underneath, powers it up, but could not get it to fall. Rebound tipped out, the Bulldogs get it. Davidson from the point, spins in the lane. Now kicks it out wide here on the right side to Jimmy Scholler. 15 on the shot clock as Ammerman works it back left side. Davidson from downtown for three off the backside of the iron, but Olienka with the offensive rebound and the putback for the Bulldogs.
All right, great work there by Dolapo Olienka. Olienka versus Ray Williams. That's going to be a very tough physical matchup both ways. That time, Dolapo gets the best of it.
Adley with it back near side in the half-court set to Harris as he works it back over to Adley, guarded by Jimmy Scholler here on the defensive end. Adley with it out front now as they move it to Golson. Golson picked up by Munson here defensively. Back on the left side of the floor, Harris back to Golson. He steps out, the big man from downtown. Could not get it to fall, and Ammerman tracks it down on the backside here for the Bulldogs. Up the floor on the right to Munson. Back to Ammerman, the two Ann Arbor natives working over on that opposite side. Munson from 16 feet, long on the shot, and rebounded by Rob Lee Jr. here for Wayne State.
It's probably right on the tip of Deshaun's comfortable range right there as you see a strong baseline drive.
Harris had that one partially blocked away, and Scholler with the rebound here as the Bulldogs want to run the floor. Here comes Davidson on the push, back to Ammerman. Ammerman on the left wing, skips it over to Olienka here for the Bulldogs. Now the Bulldogs will reset it here with 20 on the shot clock. Davidson left side for Ferris State. Down low to Olienka again, picked up by Williams. 15-footer from the baseline is long and pulled down here by Adley on the back end. So a couple good looks for the Bulldogs, but it remains 2-0 here almost 2 minutes in. Wayne State looking for its first try, not going to get it here from Lee, who misfired from the outside.
The team's a little cold with the outside shot. Jimmy Scholler trying to look for some quick offense.
Scholler a little long, tipped it, but back into the hands of Golson underneath, and Wayne State will walk it up the floor here. Brian Smothers in his second season for the Warriors has a former Bulldog player and assistant coach on his staff, and Ramon McAfee, who previously worked for head coach Andy Brockema at Ferris State. Left side of the floor, Williams back to Harris. Three ball from the point on the way.
Goodness.
No good, but they're going to call a foul here on the Bulldogs as Harris was kind of bumped to the floor after the shot.
Well, sometimes you can fall down and you might get the call. As Jimmy Scholler disputing that. And we'll see, looks like 3 free throws coming up here for the Warriors.
For ticket scores, merchandise, video, and more, be sure to log on to FerrisStateBulldogs.com as Harris will be at the line here for Wayne State. And the first one up and good as the Warriors are on the board here with 17:31 to play here in the first half. 2-1 Bulldogs. Ferris State after a big win over Parkside in what was a competitive and tightly contested game on Wednesday night in the quarterfinal round. Back home at Wink Arena. Second free throw good. The Bulldogs made the trip here to Northern Michigan in Marquette following that game on Thursday afternoon and had a chance to work out here last night. Wayne State, meanwhile, won its quarterfinal game up at Lake Superior and did not make it back home. They stayed here at the UP and made the trip over to Marquette on Thursday.
Yeah, they got the full UP experience here. Carmelo Harris, one of the keys to this Warriors team, able to knock down all three as field goals hard to come by early for both teams.
Bulldogs trail by 1 here as they kick it out wide. Amberman with it here on the left side for Ferris State off to Munson. Munson just off the block trying to power his way down against Golson, and a blocking foul going to be called here. Golson looking a little dumbfounded right there on the call, but this will be the first foul called on Wayne State here as the Bulldogs will keep it on the baseline.
They got Coach Smothers up right there. As now you're trying to, early in the game, you're trying to get a feel for how the game's going to be called so you can make the adjustment.
Olienka with it over to Davidson. Davidson from the point, and an illegal screen going to be called here on Dolapo. So it'll go back to Wayne State here on foul number 2 against the Bulldogs after what was going to be a good look for Davidson.
Yeah, the official was right there on top of that one. You're right, it was going to free. Probably didn't even need to do that necessarily to free him up as Bulldogs showing a little 1-2-1-1 zone press.
Ferris State trying to pick up the basketball. Here comes Adley taking it right to the hole, but missed off the front side, and Munson with the rebound as the Bulldogs want to counter it back the other way. Scholler inside, ball tip, but Jimmy able to track it back down here for Ferris State. Off to Munson here on the baseline left side. Ammerman coming off the screen, pulls up, 15-footer from the baseline. A little bit short and rebounded here by Adley. So the Warriors back into the half-court set. Here is It remains 3-2. 16:35 to go here in the opening half. Harris with it, topside to Lee. Lee gets the screen out front, picked up by Ben Davidson, off to Golson, who puts it on the deck, drives the lane, lost the basketball, got it back, and laid it up and in.
Yeah, great job finishing with the right hand at the rim, with the defense trying to recover. Coach Smothers looking for a foul, didn't get it, but he did get the bucket.
Here comes Davidson, near side at the free throw line, inside out, as the Bulldogs work it back over to Olienka. Olienka trying to get to the hoop, but a jump ball going to be called here as he tried to go up with it, and possession's going to go back to Wayne State as both teams will go to the bench here early on.
Bulldogs right now coming with that traditional substitution pattern right now, getting some of those energy guys in there to see if they can shift this offensive struggle right here so far. Bulldogs have just the offensive rebound bucket by Delapo Olienka so far.
Ethan Erickson along with Dang Rang and Amari Lee will all check on here for the Bulldogs. 1-2-1-1 set here defensively. Harris able to weave his way through it, takes it inside, dumps it off of the baseline. Now the Bulldogs trying to get matched up. Here is Wayne State with a couple changes as well. One of them here on the near side is Kanan Lennox as he drives baseline. Backside corner to Harris. Harris right behind the back. Back to Lennox, who drills the three from the corner over by the Ferris State bench.
Pretty behind-the-back feed by Carmelo Harris for the three-pointer from the corner. Wayne State 8-2 as the Bulldogs frigid, about as cold as it is outside with the snowfall in Marquette.
See if they can find a basket here offensively as they work it to Deshaun Munson underneath. He's got the mismatch inside, and he scores here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, strong, decisive move by Deshaun.
Bulldogs into full court pressure here, and Wayne State turns it over. Erickson off the feed, misfires on the three, and the Warriors with the rebound. They want to run up the floor to Harris. Harris hesitates, drives inside, kicks it away on the back end. Here comes Lee attacking the basket, and a blocking foul going to be called here. Head coach Andy Brockema did not like the call here on the baseline here against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Deshaun Munson, Bucky has hands pretty much straight up in the air, but the official thought differently. Timeout on the floor.
15:07 to go in the first half. It's Wayne State 8. And welcome back, everyone, to Ferris State basketball coverage right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you here from the press box inside the Barry Event Center, where Wayne State at the stripe with an 8-4 lead. Here with 15:07 to go in the first half, but a missed free throw here from Rob Lee, the GLIAC Freshman of the Year, not able to convert after the free throw was called against Deshaun Munson going into the timeouts.
He's a good one. Good young player for Wayne State. Is misfiring on both of those free throws, but he's a talented player.
Big thanks goes out to Pepsi and Gatorade for their support of the Ferris State Bulldogs. Davidson with it on the right side, out wide here for the Bulldogs. They get the high screen from Munson. Davidson works it back near side and intercepted here by Lennox. Lennox stepped in front of the pass, takes it the other way, blocked from behind, but a foul called. Here as Dang Rang was trying to challenge underneath for the Bulldogs. I think it was called, though, on Amari Lee here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, unfortunately, it started with a poor pass to the wing, and that really put the Bulldogs in a tough spot as, Dang Rang, they call him with a little body down low. Pretty clean up top, but the body down low. Tough to argue that one.
Bulldogs just 2 of 9 from the floor so far here in this first half. Wayne State 2 of 6. And Lennox is going to hear it from Ferris State fans down below as he airballs that first free throw.
It's usually just a lack of concentration when that happens. You got to just lock in and focus.
Of course, both teams have played here in this building this season, but it is very different here with the hockey facility with the space behind each basket.
Yeah, you hear it in Division One schools and talk about it when you play in the dome stadiums, and it's just a very different for shooters.
9-4 here as he made 1 and 2. Erickson out wide with it here for Ferris State. The junior out of Grand Rapids. Pick and roll to Vejas Grazulis. The big man here on the baseline, not able to get it to fall, and rebounded by the Warriors. Here comes Williams on the move up the right side. Now they'll move it back to the point here as Wayne State will work it to Jordan Briggs, freshman out of Muskegon, who comes on here for Wayne State. Lennox off the left side, out front. Now as Grazulis tries to stay in front here defensively. Lee coming off the screen. Vejas had to come on the help. And traveling. No, a foul going to be called here against the Bulldogs.
Who's that?
They called a foul here against Ferris State.
I couldn't hear the number.
Did not see it either as we watch the replay. Maybe on Grazulis. It's going to remain with Wayne State nonetheless. The foul's 5-1 here. Working against Ferris State here almost 6 minutes in. Lee out wide on the left side, trying to work past Davidson. Nice job defensively here by the senior from St. Clair. Back right side, Lennox from downtown again. 3 ball on the way is no good, and pulled away here by Davidson on the move. Ferris State looking for some offense now here in this first half of play. Mari Lee with it back to Davidson. Near side to Erickson. Down low to Grazulis. He draws the double. Vejas spins inside, kicks it back right side to Davidson for three, and it circles off the rim. And we got a hold called underneath, and this one's going to be on Lee, as it's going to remain here with Ferris State here on the foul call.
Bulldogs got a good look right there from Ben Davidson out there on the wing. He knocks those down a lot of times, but right now some of those shots just not falling for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs come back on with Olienka and Scholler. Here as Delapo has it here off the inbounds play for Ferris State, looking for Erickson. Back now instead here to Amari Lee. Mari with it at the free throw line. Over to Jimmy Scholler. Scholler from downtown. Three ball here is long. Trying to follow it, but pulled away by Adley. Adley back the opposite way here for Wayne State as they work it into the half-court set. So Wayne State here now into the 1-4 look. Back out wide is Williams. Now to Briggs. Briggs penetrates on Lee, and another whistle blown here against Ferris State. So fouls mounting here for the Bulldogs. Is that one called on Amari Lee, the graduate senior out of Rochester, New York, here at the Ferris State end.
Yeah, the good news is that they're all scattered right now, just one apiece on a bunch of players for the Bulldogs.
So no one with two here for Ferris State, and maybe even better news, Wayne State's struggled a little bit at the free throw line as Briggs could not get the first one to go here for the Warriors.
Yeah, they're right at they're at 50% from the free throw line right now. That is not attractive to your head coach, I'm sure.
So Williams will check out here as they go back to the bench, and on will come Chris Mutebi here for Wayne State University on the inside. Second opportunity here for Briggs is up and in, and it's a 10-4 ball game.
The Bulldogs right now just trying to see where they can go for shots right now is Wayne State, to its credit, playing good defense.
Mari Lee with it here for Ferris State. GLIAC tournament semifinal round action. Now Olienka with it back to Lee. He'll launch the three. This one off the back edge, but Grazulis with the rebound. Double to the corner. Tries to feed Jimmy Scholler inside. Scholler powers it up and in here for Ferris State.
Boy, great presence of mind and good strong hands by Jimmy Scholler to collect that ball and in turn and finish it.
Bulldogs trying to get back and match up here on the defensive end. Here comes Adley into the lane against Scholler. Spins here in the paint, maybe a 3-second call. Now instead it's Lennox on the move. Nice shifty move inside, and he got the friendly roll.
What a great finish right there to get that ball inside, then a little flick up and in as Wayne State doubles up the Bulldogs, 12-6.
Here comes Grazulis trapped underneath, finds Scholler again for the lay-in.
Nice find there by the big fella, able to get down on the baseline and find the cutter coming to the basket.
Vejas, a couple nice passes here to pick up a couple assists for the Bulldogs. Briggs from downtown, quick three on the way, up and in.
That's a tough one right there. Wide open look in a transition type basket there. Good look, good hit by Wayne State.
15-8 Warriors here with 12 minutes left in the first half. The Bulldogs trying to get it rolling here. Grazulis with it here on the block for Ferris State. Out wide to Erickson, picked up by Lennox. Ethan works his way into the lane and draws the foul here for Ferris State. So it looks like that'll lead us to a media timeout. Bulldogs trail by 7 here just inside of 12 minutes to go in the first half. We'll be back after this 60-second break here on Flow Sports and the Bulldog Sports Network. And welcome back, everyone, to Ferris State basketball coverage here in the GLIAC tournament semifinals. The Bulldogs and the Warriors here. First half play with 11:56 to go. Ferris State has cut it to 15-9 as Ethan Erickson, the junior at the line, knocks home the first. Named the GLIAC Six-Man of the Year award recipient yesterday by the conference office. And his second try is up and in. So a couple big free throws here as the Bulldogs set up the full court pressure. Trying to get Wayne State to maybe speed it up just a little bit. Briggs able to handle it back in transition, though, here for the Warriors. Adley with it back over to Briggs. Here as they work Mutebe through. He sets the screen now, but Amari Lee able to stay in front of Briggs here at the point. Briggs with it back left side. Harris has it on the wing left edge. Working against Erickson. Shot clock winding here down to 7 for the Warriors. Out front, Briggs still with it. Down to 3. Trying to work past Amari Lee. Stripped to the ball and 1 second remains here on the shot clock. Head coach Andy Bronkema saying it's off the knee of Briggs. He's asking maybe for a review over there on that far side, but it does not look like he's going to get it here.
Yeah. That looks hard to argue that one.
So Wayne State to inbound here as they get it in. Harris from outside did not hit the rim, and the Bulldogs with the rebound here on the shot clock violation.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there. Just 1 second left on the shot clock. Good stand there by the Bulldogs. And right now the shooting is not good, to be kind, for the Bulldogs right now. Just 26.7%. Bulldogs 0 of 5 from outside the three-point line. So they got to figure out where they can get some buckets, and it could be Delapo Olinka sliding inside.
Reese Hazelton on here for Ferris State, seeing his first action here of the afternoon as Olinka squares up here on Golson. Delapo draws the double out front to Erickson, who puts it on the deck. He drives inside, trying to draw the contact, and made the shot. Did not get the call, but the Bulldogs are back within 3.
Good job there by Ethan to power through that one and get the finish.
Ferris back the other way here for Wayne State. Inside out, Briggs from downtown. Not able to get it to go, and Erickson with the rebound. As the Bulldogs push it up the side. Here comes Amari Lee racing up the left edge here for Ferris State inside. Trying to power his way down. He dumps it off to Olinka in the paint. Inside out to Jimmy Scholler. Scholler at the high post. Here spins inside, weaves his way down the lane. Not able to get it to fall. Battling for his own rebound, though. And finally draws the foul, and he's going to get a couple free throws here for the Bulldogs.
Boy, way to battle inside by Jimmy Scholler. Got inside. Had a size, or at least a height advantage inside, and just kept battling and battling and battling. And Jimmy doesn't always make it look pretty in the way he does things, but he does a lot of little things very, very well.
He'll be at the stripe here for Ferris State. Couple free throws here as we look on from the Barry Event Center. First free throw long here for Jimmy Scholler, and no good as Lee and Williams come back on here for the Warriors. And for Ferris State, Ben Davidson returns here as Amari Lee will get a breather for the Bulldogs. Reese Hazelton, we mentioned was held to 1 minute of action in the win over Wisconsin Parkside. Has battled an injury. They're trying to get him back a little closer to full strength here as that really kind of solidifies that top 10 rotation here for the Bulldogs if he can go.
Yes, it does, and that's what they're looking for right here. We got a delay. Well, now we're good.
Ferris State basketball action presented by Three Girls Bakery. Thanks to Fox Motors and Meyer for their support of the Bulldogs. 10:29 to play here in the first half. Second try from Scholler, up and good. And it's a 2-point ball game here at 15-13. Carmelo Harris working it up the sideline against the zone press. Across the floor here to Briggs. Back to Williams here on the right side as Ferris State will get matched up here on the defensive end. Briggs out wide here. Williams awaits at the top of the circle. He's got it here for the green and gold. Back left side, Lee trying to feed it inside. And an errant pass to Golson, and out of play. It's going back to the Bulldogs.
A tough pass for a post player to handle. Bounce pass. The bounce was like pretty much right in front of him at his feet.
Ferris State fans in the building here today, making the long trip here to Marquette to cheer on this basketball team here in March Madness. With it is Davidson out top here for Ferris State. 1-4 look for the Bulldogs here as he sets it up on the right side to Erickson. He drives inside, pulls up for the 15-footer. It's up and good, and we're knotted up at 15.
Yeah, good job there by Ethan Erickson. You know they're going to chase him off that three-point line, and that's the thing that he's added to his game right there.
Harris squares up on Davidson, trying to work his way into the lane. Then able to stay in front, back out wide with it is Briggs, coming off the screen. Looking for the switch here inside, came up well short. And a late foul called here against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, late, but probably the right call. A little bit of a bump right there. The big thing is that you got to stop them from turning the corner and getting into the lane. It just creates so many problems when you give up dribble penetration right down the middle of the floor.
So at the stripe will be Jordan Briggs here, the Muskegon native at the line. Knocks home the first. Was at Big Rapids High School the other night, and Muskegon High was playing in the regional championship game against Cadillac in Big Rapids, and Muskegon a great pipeline here to the GLIAC over the years.
The Big Reds, of course, Keith Guy, we know so well, former Bulldog player, leading that great program down there.
He's got another former Bulldog, Deshaun Thrower, part of his coaching staff, who was on a national championship team for Ferris State basketball back in 2018. Also a national runner-up team on the Ferris State football side in 2018. An illegal screen called here on Hazelton as he tried to work Ethan Erickson free here down below us on the left side.
Yeah, I think he knew that Ethan was trying to fade to the corner there with the way the defense was playing. And just a little extra right there, and the official on top of it calling the illegal screens.
Hazelton will check out. Munson will come back on here for Ferris State with 9:21 to play here in the first half. That team foul is team foul number 8, but non-shooting here. As Wayne State gives it right to the Bulldogs. Harris had it slip away. He gets it off to Ethan Erickson. His shoulder fed Erickson, and he was fouled, and he's going to get 3 free throws, and Harris slow to get up here for the Warriors.
Yeah, I think that Ethan got a piece of Harris as he was coming down and might have raked him across the face after the foul by Harris.
So Harris got 3 free throws here early on the foul call, and now, so we'll see what the outcome of this is going to be. He's going to get the free 3 throws, it looks like, so it may be he gets the 3 free throws, and there was a foul called after that. We'll have to wait and see here as he knocks down the first for the Bulldogs. 17-16 here with 9:12 to play in the first half. As Erickson's second try up and good here for Ferris State, and we're all squared up. Now the third and final try here for the Bulldogs. Standout up and in. He's averaging 14.2 points per game on the year as he checks out. Jack Ammerman will come on here, and it's 18-17 to now.
This is what I thought.
You're going to have Wayne State at the line.
Yeah, this is what I thought. I think they got a technical foul, I think probably against Ethan there, because I think he got that rake across the face.
So Erickson, it looks like, was charged with a foul, and this will put Wayne State now at the line as Harris not able to get the first one to go here for the Warriors. So they continue the struggles at the free throw line. That foul on Erickson was a second, though, here for Ferris State. So a little bit of foul trouble here as he checks out. Harris's second try is up and good, and we're all tied up at 18. It's 9:12 to play here in the opening half. You're in tune to Bulldog basketball as Wayne State will have possession here, moving from left to right. And both teams trying to get set here from three-quarter court as Lennox will inbound. Dang Rang, the junior from Montgomery, Illinois, chasing the basketball here as Adley has it. Now into the half-court set. The Bulldogs coming on the double. Now they move it to Ray Williams. Williams here out front. Now as the Bulldogs switch back, Ammerman will defend Adley. Adley out top. Golson with it out wide. Now to Williams. Williams as Ferris State doing some switching here defensively. Shot clock down to 10. Here's Adley from the point. Left side found an opening over Munson, and he got the big drop here at the Berry Event Center.
I tell you what, that hit off the heel of the rim, high up in the air and back down as Wayne State regains the lead.
This one back and forth so far here in the first half of play. Close game, not a lot of offense so far. And another illegal screen going to be called here on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looked like Jack was trying to come around that, and Deshaun got a little bit of the hip there into Wayne State player trying to free up Jack Ammerman. So seen a lot of illegal screens. So that's one of those things you gotta adjust when you see that trend is taking place.
That'll be number 2 on Munson. So he checks out as Grazulis comes on. Now Wayne State with it here as Lennox handles in transition up the floor. Williams driving left side, cut off by Davidson along the baseline. Back to Lennox here as he looks for Lee. Lee squares up on Ammerman, working it off the left side out wide to Adley. Adley puts it on the deck here, works his way to the free throw line. Now Lennox coming around the corner, but the Bulldogs doing a pretty solid job here on the defensive end. Lee attacks left side, banks it home here for the Warriors.
He is a handful going to his left hand, strong right there. He's got a great handle on the ball and gets it right to the rack and finishes. Now 4-point lead for Wayne State.
Ammerman here with it for Ferris State off to Dang Rang, looking down low for Grazulis. Vejas one-on-one on the block, draws the double, feeds Jimmy Scholler, attacking the hole. Could not get it to go. Grazulis fouled as he tried to go back up with it here for Ferris State.
Bulldogs doing a pretty good job of battling on the offensive glass as Wayne State's done a pretty good job of defending some of those initial shots.
And welcome back, everyone, to Ferris State basketball action. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you here from inside the Berry Event Center in Marquette. 7:43 to play here in the opening half. And Ferris State trailing by 3 after Vejas Grazulis knocks down the first of 2 free throws here for the Bulldogs. Second try here from the big man on the way is up and good, and we got a 2-point ball game once again.
He's had an active game here as the Bulldogs come in with some full court pressure right now.
They're going to need him to play some big minutes here. Hazelton still battling that injury, and Munson on the bench with 2 fouls here in the first half for Ferris State. Adley being chased here, works his way across the midcourt stripe, split the defense, drives inside underneath, dumps it away to Williams, who fades back and connects.
Boy, that was a great handle to get through the defense there, and then Ray Williams Jr. says, I'll finish it from here.
Ferris State with it here from right to left as they work it out wide to Ammerman here on the near side. Ammerman off the screen, looking for Scholler back to the right edge, trying to post up Grazulis down low. He's got it here off the block for Ferris State, working his way down inside. Vejas moves hard, but not able to get the bounce right there for the Bulldogs, and Wayne State with the rebound.
That's not a bad look right there. There's a long bomb from outside.
This one well off target for Burashed, who just came back on here for the Warriors. Davidson with it out front, bumped by Adley. Works his way, steps back, and kicks it away to Scholler. Jimmy drives the lane and was trying to feed Grazulis, and an errant pass Out of play, it'll go back to the Warriors.
Yeah, it felt like he almost got caught between a shot and a pass and ended up sailing it too far for a pass and not really close enough for a shot as Bulldogs get a couple of fresh bodies in here. Delapo Olienka and Reese Hazelton.
Ferris State trailing 24-20 here with 6:44 to play in the first half. And points tough to come by here in this opening half for the Bulldogs so far. With it, Lennox in the backcourt here as he works it up the deck here against Ben Davidson for Ferris State. Now Lennox will square it up here for the Warriors here to the right side. Back to Williams here on the left edge. Adley has it out top here with 15 on the shot clock. They work it off a couple screens here to Lee. Lee picked up at the point by Scholler. Drives right side here. Tough shot here. Up and in. As you got the roll over the rim, and it's 26-20.
Yeah, Jimmy Scholler right there with a high hand, but able to absorb that contact right at the rim to get another finish as Wayne State now up by 6.
Hazelton with it here on the handoff to Amari Lee. Amari with a good head fake and connects here on the short jumper for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, great job. That's why you teach people stay on the ground as much as you can. You leave the air, and good job stepping into that shot by Amari Lee.
Bulldogs trying to get Wayne State to turn it over. Here comes Adley up the floor, right side corner. Williams from downtown, not able to get it to go. A battle for the rebound and chased down almost by the Bulldogs, but Adley comes away with it.
Great hustle there by Adley. He's got a wide open look.
Adley from downtown, good here for the Warriors.
That's not getting that loose ball. Ends up costing the Bulldogs 3 points.
Ferris State down by 7 now with 5:30 to play here in the first half. As the Bulldogs trying to chip away here at this Wayne State lead. Davidson, right side corner here to Lee. Back to Olienka. 3 from the point on the way for Delapo, well short. And picked up here by Adley as he wants to move. Trying to attack here on the near side. Abu Rashed with it now left side to Lee. Lee coming off the screen as the Bulldogs will switch here on the defensive end. Lee lost his footing, almost turned it over. Now Abu Rashed has it. He spins baseline. Picked up by Hazelton out front, and Davidson steals it away for the Bulldogs and saves it to Lee. Amari to the hoop, lays it up and in.
Oh, a great hustle right there. Bulldogs going to take a quick timeout as Ben Davidson, some good defensive work. Points for Amari Lee to lead the Bulldogs. 6 apiece lead the Bulldogs. Briggs and Lennox lead the way with 6 points apiece for Wayne State as the Warriors had a little better of it with the shooting. Bulldogs still shooting just about 33%.
Northern Michigan hosting the GLIAC semifinals and finals for the first time ever here at the Barry Event Center in what is the final season of college basketball here at this facility. They'll continue to play CCHA hockey, of course, as Wayne State right now. Rob Lee from downtown knocks home the 3.
Big hit right there. Amari Lee a little late getting out there, and Lee says, hey, I'm pulling the trigger here, and he knocks it down. That's how you love to come out of a timeout.
8-point ball game here as Wayne State leads it here over the Bulldogs, trying to keep their momentum going here in the postseason. Ferris State will hand off. Davidson trying to answer for 3 and does here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, able to rattle that one in. That's the first triple of the game for the Bulldogs.
Ferris State back within 5 here as Wayne State has it here, working against this defensive pressure by the Bulldogs. Briggs with it back across the floor here to Adley, who drives right side, inside out. Williams from the corner cashes home the 3 here for the Warriors.
Nice hit there from the corner, and all of a sudden the shooters are starting to pick it up.
Ferris State trying to get this into a little more up-tempo game, and Wayne State so far has been able to capitalize with a couple good looks here. Amari Lee driving to the hoop, missed the lay-in, and Abu Rashed with the rebound here for the Warriors. Back up the floor to Briggs. Bulldogs need a stop here defensively with 3:35 to play in the half. Trailing 35-27 here in the GLIAC tournament semifinals. As Adley working against a little zone look here defensively. Williams with it, now to Adley. Near side corner, Lee wide open. Drills the 3 here for the Warriors.
Well, I can't miss now. All of a sudden, we went from being ice cold to now people are hitting them all over the place. But unfortunately for the Bulldogs, Wayne State's got a 38-27 lead, so a double-digit edge for the Warriors as the 3-point shot has brought them to life.
Warriors shooting better than 55% here in the first half as Olienka has it on the left side with 3 minutes to go. Here comes Delapo, back near side. Reese Hazelton with an open look, could not get it to fall, and the rebound by Williams on the backside of the iron.
Well, 1 and done right now is Wayne State now starting to clamp down a little bit on the defensive glass.
The Warriors give away to Briggs. Briggs cut off on the baseline drive. Abu Rashed with it
wide
back
open
to Adley. Another great look here, but he could not get it to fall, and the defensive rebound here for the Bulldogs.
Caught a break there. That was a wide open look.
Scholler to Lee. Here is Amari, squares up with it, back out wide to Ben Davidson. Davidson with it in the free throw line here for the Bulldogs. Draws the double and out of play. going to remain with Ferris State here with 2:27 to go, and looks like this will be our final media timeout. Wayne State with the advantage. We'll be back in 60 seconds right here. Ball action. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you here from the Barry Event Center in Marquette. 2:27 to play in the first half, and Wayne State, the 7 seed, leading the Bulldogs, the 3 seed here in the conference semifinals. 38-27. Bulldog possession here. Down low with it is Grazulis. Grazulis trying to move his way to the block here against Abu-Rashed. Leans in and puts it up and in here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, strong finish inside by the big fella.
Bulldogs need a chip away here in the final 2 minutes here before halftime. Here as Wayne State looks to control here late in this first half of play. Briggs with it out front, now to Williams. Picked up by Dang Rang, who returns to the lineup here for Ferris State. Ammerman back on as well as Briggs trying to work past him, draws the double. The Bulldogs come on the help, but it bounces into the hands of Briggs. Across the floor on the skip to Lee, and he's fouled here on the three-point try. And head coach Andy Brockema, I'm not sure he agreed with the call, but nonetheless, Lee's going to be at the line here for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's a tough break. Again, another time fouling a shooter, and that's kind of been a tough theme for the Bulldogs running throughout this first half.
Ferris State again, the Bulldogs coming into the week, the number 7 team in the Midwest Regional Rankings. Top 8 will advance with the NCAA tournament selections to be announced tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Bulldogs on the tournament bubble, especially with the loss here today, can really help their cause with a win in this semifinal round.
Not only that, but you'd like to be playing your best ball this time of the year. And so dual motivations right here.
Good news is the Bulldogs have played some good basketball in the second half of games this season. Right now, Lee at the line trying to add on to a 10-point Wayne State lead, and he makes it an 11-point ball game here with 1:47 to go at 40-29.
Yep, so we shall see how things play out, but potential for some big matchups for both of these Bulldog teams. Bulldog men right now, a lot of work to do in the final under 2 minutes of this half.
Here comes Amari Lee with it, draws the double here near midcourt, able to get it across the timeline here to Dang Rang, and the Bulldogs now will set it up here with 95 seconds left here in the first half. Down by 11, Wayne State going zone here, a little 2-3 set as Jordan Brooks has it here for the Bulldogs. Amari Lee with it, high post to Grazulis underneath, trying to find Dang Rang. Brooks able to save it. They go back down low to Grazulis. He draws the foul. Count the basket here for the Bulldogs.
Big shot inside by the Marquette native.
Not a great pass maybe initially, but good hustle by Brooks to save it. Back into the hands of Dang Rang, who then found Grazulis, and he makes up for the pass by laying it up and in and drawing the contact.
Strong finish there by Vejas inside.
Jimmy Scholler returns here as Ammerman steps away here with 1:19 to go in the half. Chance to cut it back to 8 if Grazulis can capitalize here at the line. Free throw is on the way and good as Vejas knocks it home here for the Bulldogs. Grazulis now with 7 points here for Ferris State as Lee has it in the backcourt here for the Warriors. He'll give off to Briggs, who will man the point here for Wayne State here on the near side. Picked up by Jordan Brooks. Now he looks out top for Abu-Rashed. Abu-Rashed will give off here on the near side. Brooks crosses over to the right side. The leaner here, and another foul. Got to be whistled here against the Bulldogs. Fouls mounting here in this first half against Ferris State. That'll be the 12th team foul for the Bulldogs against 7 for the Warriors.
That's a baseline drive, and honestly, when you get any kind of contact with an elevated player driving to the basket, that's a lot of times going to be a foul.
First free throw up and good here for Jordan Briggs as he knocks home the first, and it's 41-32 count right now in favor of the Warriors. We'll recap all the numbers coming up at halftime, along with a look at what's going on in Ferris State athletics. The second one is up and in, and it's back to a 10-point difference here with 1 minute left. Amari Lee will set it up here for Ferris State. Bulldogs a chance for a little 2-for-1 action here late in the first half here in the final minute. As Lee trying to find Grazulis, left wide open. Now he lobs it down to Vejas. Working his way on the baseline, inside out, back to Lee. Shot clock at 10, back to Vejas here at mid-range. Grazulis squares up, taking it right at Boomershed, and another foul going to be called. Vejas upset, trying to get this team fired up for the Bulldogs.
The officials jump in pretty quick right there. As I think they thought something was going on there, other than more than maybe what was going on. I think it was just Vejas just getting emotional.
And He's trying to get his teammates going here for the Bulldogs. So it looks like he's going to get the 2 free throws. Nothing else here with 35.8 to go here before halftime. So Grazulis right back at the stripe here. And, you know, this is a game he wants to really perform well in and have a chance to win playing back at his hometown.
No question about it. It means a lot to him coming back and playing in this town, in this building. And, you know, he saw his brother's team win earlier, and he would love to set up another rematch.
Potentially a third meeting this season between the two Marquette natives, pending on what happens here in the second half of play for the Bulldogs. They're back within 8 as Grazulis knocked home both. Wayne State now a 5-second difference here between the shot clock and the game clock late in this first half of play as Briggs will walk it across the midcourt stripe. Picked up by Jordan Brooks here as they going to hold. Do not want to leave the Bulldogs with a whole lot of time here before halftime. Briggs back to the near side.
He says go.
And with 10 seconds, he will go here for the Warriors. A handoff to Harris, who's back on. Over to Williams, back to Harris. Harris picked up by Lee on the defensive end. Working his way off the screen, and he's trying to draw the foul. And I thought that was a pretty good job defensively there by the Bulldogs, but a foul going to be whistled, and Harris is going to get 3 more.
Yeah, I just said no fouls, and this is another time fouling a 3-point shooter, although I thought that was a pretty good challenge, to be honest.
Looked like a pretty solid job defensively by Amari Lee as we looked up at the video board, and the Bulldog fans down below us were upset, but nonetheless, this will put Harris at the line to shoot 3. Ethan Erickson going to head to the table here for the Bulldogs. 6.7 seconds left here before halftime. Harris knocks home the first.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's at least the 3rd time we fouled a 3-point shooter.
So Harris made the first. We'll see if he can get the next 2 here for the Warriors, as Wayne State trying to take a double-digit lead here going into halftime. As Harris's second try is on the way and up and good.
They got off to a little bit of a slow start shooting free throws, but since then they have hit their groove.
Right now, so far in the ball game, after that last make, they're 14 of 20. Ferris State 11 of 12 from the line here in the first half of action. A lot of free throws have been shot here in the first half with 6.7 seconds to go. Score at 44-34, and Harris made all 3. It's 45-34. Here comes Ethan Erickson with it. 5 seconds to go before halftime. Erickson working his way, finds the jumper inside the arc. Could not get it to go, but tipped up and in by Grazulis as the first half comes to a.
Definitely looking for an offensive emphasis to begin this half.
Down in Allendale, an early 9-8 lead for the Bulldog women's team at the midway point of the first quarter. We'll join that coverage here.
Oh, look out.
Sunny 97.3 once our men's basketball coverage is complete as the Bulldogs almost turned it over. They get it right back, though. Davidson with it on the near side. 3 ball from the right side. In and out. Munson trying to crash the glass, but picked up here by Adley.
Yeah, good work by Deshaun. Not able to come away with the offensive rebound. Decent look by Ben Davidson. Just couldn't hit it.
Wayne State with it out front. Golson with it here as he tries to square up with it here for the Warriors. Driving left side. Got a good screen. Jams it home, but no. I think an illegal screen going to be called here on the Warriors.
Coach Smothers cannot believe it. That was a wide open lane and the big left-hand hammer, but it doesn't count.
So it goes back to Ferris State here. Still a 9-point difference here as Jimmy Scholler will orchestrate for the Bulldogs in the half-court set. Hand off to Davidson. Back near side to Scholler. Jimmy squares up here on Lee. Now works it back at the top of the circle over to Ole Inca here on the left side. He tries to sneak past Williams. Delapo to the block, powers it up for the Bulldogs. Missed the shot, got his own rebound. Putback try is up and good.
Oh, a classic Delapo. Ole Inca just going to work, and able to finally get that one to lay in after the offensive rebound.
Bulldogs could use a big second half out of him. Here comes Harris working against Ammerman. Into the paint here, tough shot over Jack, up and good.
Tough shot right there. Jack Ammerman right there with the high hand. Give Harris credit. He was able to fill it up anyway.
47-38 Warriors here as the Bulldogs have it in the half-court set. Davidson with it out wide on the left side, looking for Munson coming around the screen. Back to Ole Inca here on the near side. Trying to work it right past Williams again. Got inside, now kicks it away in the corner. Ammerman for 3, up and good.
Oh, Rob, how bad did he need that one?
Big shot from Ammerman to draw the Bulldogs back within 6 here with 18:20 to play. They'd love to get him going here in this second half of action. Adley with it here on the near side to Williams out wide. Williams spins it out front to Lee. Lee with it, picked up by Scholler off the left side. Bulldogs able to get matched back up here. Nowhere to go with it for the Warriors. Down to 10 on the shot clock here as they move it back to Adley at the top of the circle. 7 seconds left here as he draws the switch. Golson lost the basketball and stepped out of play. It's going to be Ferris State possession.
Yeah, it looked like that basketball bounced just on the line as the Bulldogs have picked it up defensively. You get that lead now down to 6 for Wayne State as Bulldogs trying to make their move right now. Quick substitution, getting Vejas in early in the second half.
So the Bulldogs will move it up the floor here as Ammerman will set up the Ferris State offense on the left side here for the Bulldogs. Ammerman at the point, 3-ball again on the way.
Oh, here he comes.
Jack Ammerman back-to-back threes, and the Bulldogs are back within 3 here in the GLIAC semifinals.
Boy, 2 big hits there for Jack Ammerman.
Adley will square it up here for the Warriors, working off the right side, back to Williams on the left. Williams with it against Olayinka, back to Harris. Now Golson has it on the right side of the circle with 12 on the shot clock. Working off the screen is Harris again, trying to draw the switch underneath to Lee. Doubled on the play and fed it to the backside and intercepted by Davidson. Davidson racing up the floor here for Ferris State. Off to Jimmy Scholler. Scholler back to Davidson. Davidson trying to make a move here. Works all the way back to the right side and banks it home.
And the run is on for the Bulldogs. They have cut that lead down to 1.
Here come the Dogs, 47-46. 17 minutes to go in the ball game as the Bulldog fans trying to get the defense chant going here down below us. Golson with it here at the point. Off to Lee, picked up by Scholler. Trying to quiet this Bulldog crowd. He's doubled inside. Back to Golson, the big man from downtown, not able to get it to go, and Olayinka with the rebound.
Yeah, all white shirts underneath, had Williams boxed out.
Scholler to Ammerman, long 3 here, off target this time, as that was a little bit of a heat check for Jack, and here come the Warriors.
Well, that would have really got the Bulldog fans going. Here's a, no, what is that inside? Oh, they're going the other way.
Adley went to shoot, came up short, but a foul called underneath. I thought maybe were going to get the Bulldogs on a foul call on the shot, but it looks like it was called inside underneath.
Yeah, I didn't see that either outside, so it was some action going on inside as the shot misfired. The Bulldogs right now feeling good. Jack Ammerman getting a lot of slaps right there from his teammates after hitting back-to-back buckets.
Bulldogs go to the bench here as Ethan Erickson, Vejas Grazulis, and Amari Lee, along with Dang Rang, will come on. They'll leave Davidson out there. Here with 16:20 to play. 47-46 Warriors here in the GLIAC semifinals as Lee will set it up here for the Bulldogs to Davidson on the right side here for Ferris State. Ben has it here for the Bulldogs. Looking inside for Grazulis. Grazulis inside. Works his way down the left side. Spins back to the middle. And an up and under move here for the lay-in.
Yeah, you can hear Wayne State bench calling for 3 seconds as Vejas finally gets it to drop.
Ferris State has taken the lead. Long 3 from Lee. No good. And Davidson with the rebound as the Bulldogs push. Here comes Ben. And all the way up the floor. Tipped out of bounds. It'll remain with the Bulldogs.
That went off the official, but the official is out of bounds. So what a run by the Bulldogs to start the half. Bulldogs up by 1.
They got a new ball game here with 15:49. Welcome back, everyone, to Bulldog basketball action. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you. 15:44 to go here in Marquette. The Bulldogs have just scored. Grazulis off the nice feed inside got the lay-in as goaltending was called, and all of a sudden Ferris State leads it 50-47. Huge start to the second half.
A perfect pass inside to Vejas, and the big fella got the finish on the goaltend.
Adley with it over to Williams here for the Warriors, picked up by Dang Rang. We got a foul called here on the hold as Lee was trying to work free, and I think they got Ben Davidson with the foul call coming off the screen.
They got Ben off the ball with a hold. So Ben Davidson now with another foul.
I think that's going to be his second or third here for the Bulldogs. Abu-Rashed has it. Lee off the handoff, working his way to the high post. Out wide, Harris from downtown. Up and good, but no! Going to be waved away. An illegal screen called here against Lee. Will negate the 3. So some of those illegal screens in the first half against the Bulldogs have kind of been reversed, and now working against Wayne State here in half number 2.
Yeah, you can see, and we talked about it. That's been something that they've been calling, and that time, boy, that would have been big if Wayne State had gotten that one in his favor, but wipes things out, so Bulldogs will take it.
Dang Rang with it here at the top of the circle for Ferris State, working left side. Now back to the right instead to Amari Lee. Lee with it out wide. Dang Rang from 15 feet off the screen. No good here. Short on the shot. And rebounded by the Warriors. Warriors want to push with 15 minutes to play here in this GLIAC semifinal round. Winner moves on to the conference tournament championship game tomorrow at 2. As Dang Rang with the steal, gets it back for the Bulldogs. Taking it the other way, lays it up and in.
Boy, great finish. He knew he had a chase down coming, but he was able to focus on the rim to get the finish.
5-point Bulldog lead here, largest lead in the ball game here for Ferris State. As a Boomershed squares up here at the top of the circle. Looking to give way to Adley. Erickson trying to fight over the screen. Now trying to slide through. Grazulis comes on the help. They throw it out top. The Bulldogs rotate. A Boomershed left open. Shot in and out, and Dang Rang wrestles it away inside for the Bulldogs. Back up the floor. Erickson from downtown for 3. It bounces around and is no good, but Amari Lee with the rebound. Lee inside, leans in, not able to get the bank to go, and Harris with the rebound.
Boy, Bulldogs hustle. You can't argue with that. Here's Williams in transition.
Williams steps to the hole and scores here for the Warriors. They're back within 3 as timeout call.
Race.
Of course, the men's game here today being produced by Northern Michigan University, the host school, and the Flow Sports video coverage, and down in Allendale being produced by Grand Valley State as Amari Lee lost the basketball, and they're going to say it's off of Ferris State as Briggs was applying the pressure.
Tough break there for Amari as ball ends up going out of bounds. Taking a look at the replay right there, and yeah, he just kind of lost it on his own.
No argument there from the Ferris State side as Briggs will set it up here for the Warriors. Warriors working off the screen, and a foul going to be called out top here on Lee as he tried to fight over the screen for the Bulldogs. That'll be his 3rd as well here for Ferris State.
When you're fighting over the top of a screen like that, you want to get those hands outside and shuffle the feet. When you get those hands inside and you make contact, those are the kind of fouls they're going to call.
Hutch Ward, a freshman out of Kalamazoo, on here for the Warriors as Lee tries to fight over it again. Now Briggs will back it out, looking for Harris. Harris picked up by Jimmy Scholler. Now off the screen, down low, inside. A Boomershed takes it up strong and scores here for the Warriors.
Yeah, great job, kind of a middle screen and roll right there. And Boomershed able to get the finish with the friendly bounce roll.
Lee with it here on the near edge for Ferris State to Erickson off the screen, and he lost it off his foot. A couple unforced type turnovers here against the Bulldogs on back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, you can see that Ethan was probably starting to think about the shot that he wanted, and unfortunately mishandled it off his leg, not a little bit farther down the court from where Amari Lee did.
This one right now, a 1-point difference. Wayne State a chance to regain the lead here as Briggs works off the screen, back all the way to the right side, picked up by Ammerman. Now Lennox with it out front, works it back to Harris. Harris squares up with it. Now he fires the shot.
No.
Jimmy Scholler with the arm straight up, and Harris going to draw another foul as he's going to get 3 more free throws here. And
Bulldogs are fortunate they didn't get teed up right there, too.
Bulldogs not pleased here as Munson upset underneath here for Ferris State. Scholler had the arm straight up, and foul going to be whistled here against the Bulldogs.
Kind of hard to see from that replay, but again, they're going to protect shooters, and you just, as far out as he was shooting, you really just want to get a high hand up and challenge, and Coach Smothers just got warned.
Coach Smothers that got warned, but Coach Brockman that got warned. They're both standing right there at midcourt.
They're both upset. I thought he signaled to Coach Smothers, but you're right. I mean, it could have been both of them right there, as both coaches not happy right now.
So Harris at the line, free throw up and good. Here is
and Rob, I think Coach Smothers, I think he wanted one of the Bulldog players slam the ball down. He wanted a technical foul. After that, didn't get it.
First one from Harris was good. It's tied up at 52 here as he's got 2 more remaining. As the Bulldogs right now, second free throw up and in, have Ammerman, Dang Rang, Munson, Erickson, and Scholler. As this little break right here hopefully does not kill some momentum for Ferris State. The Bulldogs had the momentum going into that last timeout, but a couple turnovers combined with a big basket from a Boomershed and a potential 3-point play here from Harris have kind of seized some of the energy here from the Ferris State end.
Yeah, you hope that this is an opportunity for the Bulldogs to just kind of catch their breath a little bit. Got up by about 5 points, and all of a sudden Wayne State has been able to turn it back around, and now they're back up by 2.
7-0 run here for the Warriors as Ammerman works off the screen here for Ferris State, dumps it away to Munson inside. And traveling going to be called here. He was looking to feed it back to the wing. A little extra violation there against the Bulldogs with 12:59 to go.
Yeah, ball just kind of got stuck right there, and he ended up shuffling the feet and traveling as Vejas Grazulis pops right back up.
Olienko will come back on as well here on the Ferris State end as the Bulldogs go to a little 3/4 court pressure. Now they'll back it off to midcourt. As Briggs will handle here into the half-court set for the Warriors. Briggs working back to the right side here. Ammerman staying in front here defensively. Now Lennox has it, and he lost it as Grazulis picks it up. Bulldogs pushing. Here comes Ammerman. Catch and shoot. 3-ball on the way. Bingo!
Another one right there for Jack Ammerman. 3 of 4 of his last 4 from outside.
We talked about it on the trip up yesterday. A guy that's got the ability to really change the game. We saw him do it at Northwood and having a big game here in the second half for the Bulldogs. Briggs with it at the free throw line, off to Golson. Picked up by Grazulis here as he backs away. Now the Bulldogs come on the double. Golson splits the defense though and scores.
Well, Bulldogs came and kind of jumped at the double team along the baseline. You'd like to see him just come and just get big and force the defender to have to elevate and shoot. But great shot there by Wayne State inside.
56-55 Warriors here as the Bulldogs work it over on the far side to Grazulis. Working right back at Golson, and he scores. Vejas having a big game for Ferris State.
Good recognition by the big fella, Rob. Vejas knew that there was no help coming. He just had to be patient and work his way inside.
A couple seniors that want to win here today for the Bulldogs. Is the shot no good? Lennox with the rebound. And is fouled as he tried to go back up with it here by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there to get Dolapo with that one for getting the arm down a little bit.
11:44 to Ferris State basketball here in the conference tournament. The Bulldogs leading Wayne State 57-56. Now we're tied up here with 11:44 to go as Lennox knocks down the first of 2 here for the Warriors. 14 fouls against Ferris State, 3 on the Warriors here in the second half of play. And setting up for an exciting finish here to this one as the Warriors regain the lead.
Yeah, this is a battle that we expected here between these two teams. Very physical battle here as both teams trying to find their shooting strokes a little bit more consistently.
Here comes Olayinka left side, picked up by Williams. Had to pick up his dribble, now off to Ammerman. Back to Dolapo here at the elbow at the left side. Works his way down to the block and trying to get the shot up, draws the contact. And he's going to get a couple tries at the line here for Ferris State.
That's a great matchup with Dolapo Olayinka and Ray Williams Jr. Two similarly built guys, two athletic but strong built guys going at it.
Bulldogs being led by Grazulis with 17 points here in the ball game, 9 points for Ammerman, who's hit 3 threes all in this second half of action here for Ferris State today. As Olayinka's first free throw was no good. And the Bulldogs still trail 58-57. The Warriors being led by Lee and Harris with 12 points apiece. So second opportunity here for Olayinka, the former Northern Michigan Wildcat, graduate senior from Chicago. Here now a Ferris State Bulldog, and the second one is down and good here for Ferris State.
We are even again on the scoreboard at 58 with 11:22 to go.
So Briggs will set it up here for the Warriors off the far side to Golson out top, picked up by Grazulis. They'll play off him a little bit. Now Harris will work his way off the screen. The floater in the lane takes the high bounce and knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Ferris State basketball as they're going to say Golson had the last touch.
Yeah, he and Jimmy Scholler both right there. No big protest from the Wayne State bench.
Ferris State women trail Northern Michigan by 3. 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter down in the women's semifinal round at the Grand Valley State Fieldhouse Arena. Erickson with it here on the right side for the Bulldog men. A chance to take advantage again here. Now Ammerman working off the left side, picked up by Harris. Had to pick it up. Now Olayinka has it out top. 12 on the shot clock here. Back to Jimmy Scholler here on the near side. Jimmy trying to back down against Briggs. The shot came up short. Erickson tried to tip it up and in, and he was fouled. And he'll move to the stripe here for the Bulldogs.
Boy, I missed assignment boxing out on Ethan Erickson. Maybe they didn't expect him to come and crash in on the offensive glass as Jimmy Scholler had a mismatch height-wise inside. Good follow offensive rebound by Ethan Erickson.
So Erickson at the stripe here for Ferris State with 10:46 to go. The first free throw up and good. He's in double digits with 10. Lee will come back on. Aburshed will come back on as well here for the Warriors in place of Harrison Golson. As Ferris State leads it 59-58. Erickson one more try here for the junior out of Grand Rapids, named the GLIAC 6th Man of the Year, and he cashes it in here for Ferris State. Hazelton came on. He'll give Grazulis a little bit of a rest here for Ferris State. The Bulldogs in front by 2. Aburshed has it to Lennox, and he lost it. Erickson taking it the other way here for the Bulldogs. He's fouled on the play. Count the basket. And a chance at a three-point play.
Well, Ethan went down really hard, but he made a smart move, Rob. He kind of got that arm out and drew the contact from Aburshed as Jack Dunlap going to come over and check on Ethan Erickson, who hit the floor really hard. We can hear to that is Ethan trying to finish off this three-point play, and what a season this young man has had.
Good response by the Bulldogs. They had a 5-point lead. We saw Wayne State take a 7-0 run. But the Bulldogs have came back. They're back in front by 5 again here with 10:32 to play. GLIAC tournament action here in what's been a tightly contested game so far here at the Barry Event Center in Marquette. Back on the right side with it is Briggs, guarded by Erickson. A Bouchered with it at the top of the circle. Will hand back to Briggs. 15 on the shot clock here for the Warriors as he's chased from behind. Wayne State having to extend its offense right here as they try to find someone open. Now off the far side is Williams. Williams had to pick it up with 5 on the shot clock. Back to Briggs. Briggs working right side. Found an opening and scored.
Yeah, no help underneath there as he got all the way to the rack.
Bulldogs were out defending in the passing lanes and had no help underneath as Briggs was able to counter. And the Warriors back within 3. Scholler with it, looking left side. Ammerman off the screen. Free throw line jumper off the left side. And Olejniczak fouled as he tried to come up with the rebound.
Yeah, Dolapo had a wide open opportunity to grab that one. And I think he got tangled up with Williams.
So another foul whistled here. That'll be the 7th or 8th team foul here on the Warriors. 4 against the Bulldogs here in the second half. The Bulldogs have kind of played through the foul trouble they had in the first half. And fouls that were called against them, and now some of those calls starting to work back in Ferris State's favor.
The universe has a way of evening out there, but great work by Dolapo Olejniczak to get to the offensive glass as, again, he continues that battle with Ray Williams Jr.
1-on-1 set here for Olejniczak, and the first free throw up and good. Here as Dolapo knocks home the first. The Bulldog women trailing by 10 late in the second quarter of action. Northern Michigan trying to beat the Bulldogs for the first time in 3 meetings this season. And been a great year for the Bulldog women. We know their season's going to continue next week in the NCAA tournament. They put themselves in a great position. The men's team trying to do the same with a win here today.
Exactly, and women have certainly earned that right to have that bid, but you know they'd like to win a GLIAC championship, and that's going to be their goal down in Allendale as the Bulldog men. That's their goal up here in Marquette.
Back to a 5-point ball game as Olejniczak knocked down both free throws at 65-60 here with 9.5 minutes to play. Lee with it left side, down low to Adley, picked up by Ben Davidson back on. Over on the skip to Briggs. Nice head fake here as he drives and pops. Came off the front side, and the Bulldogs tip it up, and Scholler grabs it. Up the floor here to Ammerman. Ammerman with it to Grazulis out top. Back to Davidson here on the near side. He spins on the defense. Now throws it back out front. Almost threw it away. Olejniczak will give off to Scholler as he tries to reset it. Back to Ammerman here on the right. Down low to Grazulis. 12 on the shot clock here for Vejas as he spins baseline on a Bouchered and drives inside and scores!
Vejas realized again, there's no help coming. No reason for him not to be aggressive.
Grazulis gives Ferris State a 7-point lead here with 8:45 to play. Having a monster game here today back in his hometown. Adley with it here on the left side for the Warriors. Looking for Briggs coming off the screen. Now he squares up on Davidson. Drives right side. Able to sneak past the help and puts it off the glass and in. And a foul going to be whistled here against Ferris State.
Bulldogs got there and get the late foul called pretty much well after the basket was made. But there definitely was some contact. Coach Brockham is not happy. But I think he's more unhappy about his help defense not really being able to get there.
Bulldogs trying to find a way to put Wayne State away here with 8:32 to go. A lot of ball game left to be played, and they have a chance to cut this lead back to 4 here if Adley could knock it home, but could not. It's a 5-point difference here as Olejniczak grabs the rebound. So Jimmy Scholler with it here across the midcourt stripe, picked up by Lee as the Bulldogs work it right side to Davidson. Squares up on Adley, looking inside. Grazulis doubled initially. Now Olejniczak with it here at the high post. Dolapo has the size edge, powers it up and in here for the Bulldogs, and a foul call.
Boy, the strength edge right there. Coach Smothers, Coach Moan, they both wanted the shoulder for the offensive foul.
That one not called. Instead, foul called on the shot. Olejniczak able to finish on the basket and is going to get the 3-point play called against Mutebe here, who did not have the strength to match up with the big man here out of Chicago. Olejniczak steps to the line, eyes the basket. Free throw is on the way, is long, but bounces back in.
Boy, how a fortuitous bounce right there as it did. Was indeed long, but went straight up in the air, came down for a free throw make.
Largest lead here at 70-62 here for the Bulldogs with 8 minutes to go. Lee driving baseline, off the glass, and good, and another foul going to be called. As
you know, it's one of those things where he gets a step on you. You almost got to let him go and trust your help to be there.
8 minutes to basketball coverage. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you here from the Barry Event Center. 70-64 lead, make it 70-65 here for Ferris State with 8 minutes to go as Lee completed the three-point play. So the Bulldogs offensively with it here down to the right. Here as we look on, Grazulis, great feed inside to Olienka, who puts it up and in.
Boy, great execution on the high-low.
Ferris State in the GLIAC semifinals trying to move on to the championship game. Here is Adley back on the right side to Williams. Williams works his way into the lane. The leaner here, no good. Olienka with the defensive rebound here for Ferris State.
Boy, good defense on Ray Williams Jr. and then finishing it off by getting a big rebound.
The Bulldogs with 7:25 to go, lead it 72-65 and with possession of the basketball. Scholler out to Olienka in the corner, back to Ammerman. Now back inside to Lop. This is Delapo trying to back down against Williams. Leans in inside. The one-handed hook off the right side is no good. Pulled away here by the Warriors. Wayne State back up the floor here. That was the matchup the Bulldogs wanted, just not able to convert here on the offensive end. Adley into the lane, inside out. Williams thought about the three, puts it on the deck, drives inside, lost the handle, but a foul called. And this is going to be team foul number 7. It'll be a shooting situation here in the one-on-one.
Yeah, Delapo tried to get that poke away from behind as Williams did a good job with the show and go. Actually tried to swipe down on the basketball and drawing that foul.
That'll be number 3 on Olienka. So 3 on Olienka, 3 on Scholler, and 3 on Davidson, along with Amari Lee here on the Ferris State side as the first free throw by Williams is up and good. Bulldogs going to the bench. Amari Lee, Dank Rang, and Jimmy Scholler will come back on as they'll rest Olienka and Ammerman. Munson will return here for Grazulis on the inside. And I believe also checking out here for Ferris State. It looks like that's going to be it. So Davidson will stay out there here for the Bulldogs.
You'd love to see Dang Ring and Deshaun Munson be able to step up here with that inside game. They're going to need to get Vejas some rest here.
72-66 after the second one was missed. 6:40 to play. Here is Jimmy Scholler with it over on the left side to Amari Lee. Out wide to Davidson. Davidson with it here for Ferris State. Coming off the screen here, trying to find someone open. He lobs it up for Munson, who's got the mismatch against Adley. Deshaun inside, spins back to the baseline, off the glass and good.
Good finish there by Deshaun Munson inside.
Ferris State with a 74-66 lead. Here is Wayne State with it back into the half-court set. The Warriors, the 7 seed here at the GLIAC tournament, already pulled off an upset over the 2 seed, trying to beat the 3 seed here today in the Bulldogs. Lee, left side, back to the right, races in and scores. Here is Ferris State's lead, cut back to 4-6 here at 74-68.
Yeah, that was a great finish with Deshaun Munson kind of right there with the high hands and still got that one up and in.
Bulldogs will set it up. Here is Lee, runs the offense back over on the left side of the arc here to Davidson out wide. He comes off the screen, back to the top of the circle, had to pick it up. Now Amari Lee with it. 10 on the shot clock here for Scholler on the right edge. Jimmy with it back to the top of the circle again. Out wide to Davidson with 5. Davidson attacking here, got to the hole and finished here for Ferris State.
Boy, good strong drive going to his left hand, coming back shooting with the right hand. Good defense, but better offense right there. Bulldogs leading by 8.
6 seniors playing like this. Could be their final game in the second half here for the Bulldogs. 5:19 to play here as Williams comes off the screen. Working left side here for the Warriors. He backs it out against Dang Rang. Now back to Lee. Lee picked up by Scholler, back in the corner to Matebe. Matebe drives and kicks. Williams wide open. 3 ball from the corner, up and good.
That was a huge 3 by Williams.
Williams drills a huge shot. 5:01 to go, and at times back on the bike behind the Ferris State bench, appears to be okay and just trying to stay loose for his next opportunity.
Just trying to stay warm and loose, as you mentioned, and waiting for his opportunity should he get his name or number called.
Davidson with it off to Lee. Scholler with it out wide here with 4:45 to play. Shot clock at 15. Back to Amari Lee on the near side. Over to Munson. Elbow jumper on the way. No good here. And the rebound tipped up, and Williams comes away with it here for the Warriors. He's got Golson running the floor. They get it to him, but Munson able to recover back here for Ferris State. Munson trying to body up. Golson splits the defense again as Davidson came on the help, and a foul whistled, and Munson, they're going to get Davidson here on the call.
Yeah, Munson was kind of struggling with that shoulder as he was coming down court. Ben Davidson had him with the double team, unfortunately allowed Golson to split the double team.
Bulldogs going back to the bench here is Golson will step to the stripe, down by 5. Here is Wayne State with 4:28 to play. Grazulis, Olienka, and Ammerman are all going to come back on here for Ferris State. As we're waiting on something here, they're at the scorer's table.
We're good, apparently. I see the thumbs up.
So they called it, I believe, on Davidson. That's his 4th here. So Ben may have to come out here with 4:28 to play if that does indeed stand. It was him or Munson, and looks like it was called on Davidson as the first free throw is up and good for Golson.
It looks like Ben's going to stay in.
Davidson's going to stay out there as Munson, Dengrang, and Scholler will all check out. That would have been number 3 on Munson. Instead, it looks like it's number 4 on Davidson, according to our official statistics here from the press box at the Barry Event Center. Second try, no good, and Olienka with the rebound. We got a 4-point ball game. Just over 4 minutes to play here in Marquette. As Ferris State trying to move on to the GLIAC Tournament Championship game. Amari Lee on the left side here for Ferris State. Back inside, draws the double, converts inside as he powered it up and in. And yet again, another opportunity here in a 3-point play.
Yeah, strong move inside by Amari Lee, Rob. He just kept working his way inside. He knew he had the matchup right there. Golson had his back to him, trying to defend both the drive by Amari Lee and trying to defend the other offensive player right there, Vejas Grazulis, and unfortunately, 3-point play converted by Amari Lee.
Amari Lee knocks it home, and it's 79-72 Bulldogs. How many 3-point plays have we had here in this second half?
Oh, my goodness.
Back the other way, here comes Adley here for the Warriors to Williams out wide. As the Bulldog crowd trying to get the defense chant going again here on the Ferris State edge. Down below is to the right. Adley with it, working off the right side. Back to Lee, been a little more quiet here in the second half. Now he backs it out, kicks it away to Golson. Golson with a quick move to the left side, lost the basketball, and Olienka picks it up here for Ferris State.
You mentioned that Lee has been quiet. Carmelo Harris has been quiet as well.
3:40 to play here. Ferris State a 7-point lead in the basketball here as they try to close this one out here in Marquette. Grazulis with it. Now to Ammerman. They're looking down low for Olienka. They go back to Lee. Amari with it here with 10 on the shot clock, over to Davidson on the left side.
High low.
Olienka with it, bounce feed inside to Grazulis. Pretty move here as he splits the defense and puts it up and in. He's got 21 on the day.
Clutch move inside by the big fella. Vejas Grazulis continues to deliver.
Having one of his best ball games of the year for Ferris State. Adley down the lane, spins inside. Grazulis challenges it. Missed shot, second try, no good as he's fouled. As Vejas going to be called for the foul, but good work on the defensive end here. And with 3. Welcome back, everyone, to Ferris State basketball coverage. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you from the Barry Event Center. 3:04 remains. Ferris State with an 81, make it 73 score right now as the first free throw by Adley is up and good. And he'll have a chance for one more free throw here for the Warriors. Ferris State with a win today moves on to the GLIAC Tournament Championship game to face Grand Valley State tomorrow as the second free throw was no good, and Olienka with the rebound. The Lakers defeated host Northern Michigan, the 1 seed, 92-77 in the opener here this afternoon. Davidson down low, Grazulis wide open, scores again!
Boy, great baseline cut by Vejas Grazulis. Wayne State lost track of him, and the big fella, nice catch and finish inside.
Largest lead here for the Bulldogs today at 10 with 2:40 to play. As the Warriors work it back to Harris on the left side. Down low with it is Adley.
Double.
The Bulldogs come on the double. He
nice pass.
Feeds it over to Golson, and he was able to catch and score.
Pretty pass right there.
So Ferris State now facing some pressure here as Lee right now working against Lee. It's Rob Lee picking up Amari Lee here for Ferris State. As Amari will set it up here on the offensive end for the Bulldogs. They can run some clock down here inside in 2 minutes if they elect to do so. Ammerman now going to take time out with 11 seconds to get ready to start the second half in Allendale. We'll head to that broadcast with Brandon Worth coming up on Sunny 97.3 shortly after this one ends here at the Barry Event Center. Lee with it back to Davidson. Good head fake, fires a long 3. Shot no good. Rebound tipped up, and Rob Lee with it here for Wayne State. They have a chance to cut into this lead. Down 8 with 1:50 to play as they work it over to Williams. Williams works his way to the free throw line. Olienka went for the steal, left him open. Now he has to pull it back out. Down to 1:40 remaining as Rob Lee works it off the left side. The Bulldogs block it away, but Golson there to lay it back up and in.
Yeah, 2 Bulldogs came for the block. Unfortunately, that opened up an offensive rebound lane. 6-point game.
90 seconds left here as Ferris State will set it up.
Zone?
Amari Lee with it over to the far side. It looks like Wayne State playing a little 3-2 look almost here defensively. Back to a 2-3. Amari Lee splits it, puts it down low to Grazulis. He powers it up and in. And another chance here in a three-point play.
Yeah, Bulldog fans at courtside loving that three-point play.
Cannot be more pleased with the performance here at Grazulis today.
Boy,
as he has earned this one for the Bulldogs.
You can see a proud mom down there. She switched from the Grand Valley shirt for her other son who plays for Grand Valley into the Ferris red. And she's going to be a happy mom tonight if the Bulldogs can hang on.
She may be a little nervous tomorrow. Going to have to wear two different shirts. As it could be Grazulis against Grazulis again tomorrow afternoon in the GLIAC Tournament Championship game. Free throw by Vejas is up and good.
Rob, I'll one-up you. You said this is one of his best games of the year. It might be one of his best games as a Bulldog.
He's got 26 now to lead Ferris State, and it's 86-77 with 1:10 to play here in Marquette. Adley working baseline, and Vejas tried to move in front of him, and pretty solid job defensively, but a blocking foul going to be called, and this will stop the clock and put the Warriors at the strike.
Yeah, you'd like to see him maybe shuffle it a little bit more of a kind of a 45-degree angle, but you can't fault this this senior from Marquette tonight. I mean, what a game, what a performance.
At the line is Adley trying to chip away at this lead. First free throw up and good as Davidson will come on here for Ferris State. Bulldogs still have Ethan over there riding the bike behind the bench. Looks like he's all right. I think the way this game has gone, there hasn't been a need maybe to put him back in just yet.
Yeah, he's biked about 5 miles on that that bike right there. As Wayne State now coming with an aggressive trap here.
Amari Lee with it, off to Oleyenka. The Bulldogs break it to Jack Ammerman. Ammerman into the half-court set. Good job by the Bulldogs. 58 seconds remain. Ferris State leads it by 7, 86-79. Wayne State's going to foul as Davidson is going to be heading to the free throw line here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they elect the foul with 16 seconds on the shot clock. So they were looking to see if they could get a turnover, and then they couldn't get the turnover, and they committed the foul.
This game's all said and done. We'll wrap it up rather quickly here on Sunny 97.3 as we'll try to send it to women's basketball coverage down at the Grand Valley State Fieldhouse Arena. So we may wrap up the numbers quickly and send it back to the studios, and then we'll have a chance to interview Coach Bronkema and can air that online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com later on tonight as the free throw is up and in. And it's 88-79.
Bulldogs continue to go defense for offense as Ben Davidson comes out, Jimmy Scholler back in on defense.
53.8 seconds left. Ferris State with an 88-79 lead here in the GLIAC semifinals. Final minute with a berth in the conference tournament championship game tomorrow here in Marquette on the line. Adley drives inside. The one-hander no good. Golson battling for the rebound, and a foul whistled again. It's been a day where a number of fouls have been called in this basketball game, and
Hammerman got that one.
Officials certainly haven't lost control of this one here this afternoon.
That is certainly the case. There is these two teams. I tell you what, it's a hard game to call because you got two very aggressive, physical defensive teams going at it right here with a berth in the GLIAC championship game on the line.
Had a lot of three-point play type opportunities, but very consistent here at both ends of the floor for the most part.
I would agree. Great hand for Vejas Grazulis. He's got a cheering section down there.
He's got a whole fan section down there next to the Ferris State bench. As the lead back to 7, though, at 88-81 with 42 seconds left. So the Bulldogs still going to have to make some plays to close this one out, and probably going to have to knock down some free throws here down the stretch.
Step to the ball strong.
They get Amari Lee with the basketball. He's doubled in the backcourt, but fouled here, and he'll be the guy moving to the free throw line here with 39.4 remaining.
Both teams well into the double bonus.
So Ferris State looking for a big win here in the semifinal round. The winner takes on Grand Valley State tomorrow. 2 p.m. championship game here in Marquette at the Barry Event Center. And, of course, if it's Ferris State moving on, we'll have the pregame coverage for you at 1:30 tomorrow from here in Marquette. Amari Lee will be at the line. This game right here, if Ferris State can hold on, really going to help solidify their NCAA tournament hopes as well. Not going to lock it up by any means, but definitely gives the Bulldogs a great opportunity to move on to the national tournament.
Well, you have a compelling resume as that one rims out for Amari Lee. As wow, we were about 39.4 seconds away from two rivals about 50 miles apart, an hour apart from each other, playing for a GLIAC championship 6 miles away from the closest city, which is Big Rapids.
6 hours away. I know you said miles, but
6 hours,
6 hours away.
Yeah, a little more than 6 miles.
Second free throw up and good for Amari Lee. Made 1 and 2, and the Bulldogs
on to this last 39.4 seconds to earn it.
The Bulldog women's team right now trailing down in Allendale 33-25 with 6:20 to play in the third. Here right now, Ferris State with the advantage. Adley tries to feed it to Lennox. He lost the basketball. It's going back to the Bulldogs with 29.8 remaining.
Yeah, the Bulldogs were knocking it out of bounds. I think Lennox tried to grab it again. Unfortunately for him, tapped it down out of bounds as the trap comes.
Emmerman handling here for Ferris State, breaks the pressure. Over to Amari Lee, gets it right back to Jack. And the Warriors trying to foul. Finally, it's called here with 21 seconds to go. It'll be Jack Emmerman, the senior, who kind of got the Bulldogs rolling in the second half with those 2 early threes. A chance to move into double figures here today.
Bulldogs trying to salt this one away. At one point, Jack had hit 3 of 4 threes. And those first 2 that he hit were huge, a big stretch where the Bulldogs really needed somebody to hit some shots.
Able to knock down the first. He'll get the second opportunity with the lead back to 9 at 90-81. 21 seconds to go as Emmerman's second try is on the way and good. Bulldogs have a 10-point lead here. Just stay back, don't foul. Don't stop the clock if you're the Bulldogs.
Exactly, keep that clock rolling.
Briggs from downtown, long three. Tried to bank it home, could not. Rebound tipped out. Olayinka tracks it down. Ferris State into the front court. That's going to do it. The Bulldogs are headed to the GLIAC Tournament Championship game tomorrow here in Marquette. Final